talk about the flooring. 30-inch cabinet right here. I'm feeling better about this project. I feel like a scrambled egg. It would be so cool if the kitchen island either had... All right, if you're looking for rocks, you're looking for pebbles, or you're looking for gravel, you're looking for anything for your backyard, this is where you go in Palm Springs. It's called the Southwest Boulder and Stone. And first off, these are kind of cool. Like, I'm pretty into these little orbs. They're kind of expensive. Sphere. 10-inch sphere is $240, but they give it a very cool look. So I think we're gonna find some cool stuff here. Look at these natural stone tables they have. Now that is pretty cool. Not for our house, but that's pretty cool in general. I'm impressed. And there's water features and things like that. It's like this turf to me looks so fake and turfy. Yeah, but this one looks more real because it's got the little like brown pieces. I think that one looks bad. Yeah, that one looks. This one would look like a carpet on the ground. I feel like that one looks. This one looks pretty good. That looks real. I don't really know how to choose turf. These are for fire pits, so you can have like stones and fire coming out. I think that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, the water feature. Very expensive. Oh my gosh, could you imagine the cost of this thing and trying to move it? It's huge. Okay, now is a better example of how you can see how a water feature would just integrate into your backyard. Kind of cool, but these just aren't very modern looking, I don't think. These ones kind of are, but they honestly, like, I think this blue stone is sort of cheesy looking, so I don't know about that. You may notice something different in the kitchen today. The mold got ripped out. One of the contractors just ripped out some of the drywall, so that was fun. It's gonna be another pretty noisy day, a lot going on. I'll show you guys in a second, but first I'm gonna make some breakfast, and it's an avocado toast kind of morning today. You know what sucks? I really wish that the island had power. Like, I think about it frequently, how convenient it would be if it had outlets, because right now the toaster is on the island, but I'm gonna move it. But it would just be so expensive, I'm pretty sure, to change some of those things. I'll talk to you guys more about the kitchen remodel. I don't know, probably in another video altogether, because I'm not totally sure what's gonna go on with it yet. I still have some problem solving that needs to be done. That was kind of scary. What happened? There's chocolate and it caught on fire on the stove. I didn't know what to do. We should order a fire extinguisher. Like a big fire? No, it was like a tiny flame. I blew it out, but it scared me because I didn't know what to do. Maybe open a window. I've been liking my egg more on like the medium boiled side. Not boiled. Medium fried, medium yolk, medium soft yolk. Yeah, that. I feel like a scrambled egg. My brain is a scrambled egg and it needs to be, no, why am I even trying to make metaphors right now? I'm gonna take a moment to journal, to write out my thoughts. I'm not a big journaler because I feel like the point is people like to go back and read what they wrote, but whenever I write stuff, I never go back and read it. I just don't have the patience for it. But I think it might be helpful for me to just write out how I'm feeling and like get it out. Just get it out and organize it, and maybe then I'll be better. I think I feel a little better. I'm gonna show you guys, this is what I wrote down. It's kind of embarrassing. So first off, I said I'm feeling stressed out. Yep, sucks. Secondly, I said I don't use my day as productively as I'd like. So we're working on that. That's the issue. The last 4 to 5 days have felt like failures and I'm letting it drag into the following day. So basically because yesterday I feel like I didn't get as much done, I just feel guilty about it the next day and there's no point in feeling like that. A lot of great progress has happened with the house, but I don't enjoy it because I feel guilty about spending money. There's not much I can do about that. That just sucks. So these are my issues. They kind of suck. There's nothing I can really do about it, but here are some things I think would make me feel better. Finish paying all of my bills. So I just did that. It's the second of the month. And so I was just getting up to date, paying both mortgages. I don't do anything on auto pay. I don't like to, I just don't. But I was just getting up to date on all of the utilities. I wanted everything to be all up to date, but the SoCal Gas Company paper bill hasn't come yet. So it's kind of annoying knowing that that's still lingering, but oh well. It feels pretty good that I got that done. Next would be send Mary Margaret vlog vlog footage. So I'm gonna do that right now. For some reason, even though sending footage takes little to no effort, all it takes is the click of a couple buttons. For some reason, it feels like such an effort. It's quite annoying to me. I just need to get over it. I really do. You know what I've noticed recently? Habits really do build so quickly and just become something you don't even think about so quickly. So I need to make this more of a habit that every day I just send footage, because when I don't send footage, I have nothing for her to edit. She's in Seattle, and then I don't get a video done. You know what I mean? It's like so stupid of me to not just like, look, it's as easy as this. I'm in here now, last day January, send to Mary Margaret this stuff, and that's all I do. And then I just have to leave it for a while, like hours, which is actually pretty annoying, but I mean, the computer's doing the work. Sent that. Okay, dedicate 45 minutes just to making vlog for tomorrow. I've been inside all morning working on my computer, but I can tell today is like a really big work day. Some days are pretty chill and there's like 1 or 2, 3, 4 people here. Other days are like intense work days where there's like 8 to 10 people here almost. Like for example, when we took the overhang out, that was an intense work day. There was like a good 7 to 8 people here working so hard on the backyard. But the other day there was like only 2 people here. So I kind of want to go see what's going on out there. I know that they are repairing the stucco, which is why there is a sheet over the glass so they don't get anything on it. You can see right there, it's saved that a little bit, but it's blocking my view of the backyard. So let's awkwardly go see what's happening. First off, I want to show you guys, I woke up this morning and was pleasantly surprised. They added a gutter system right here. I don't know if you remember before, but there wasn't this long part. And I was worried because they just painted this beam that if the water just hits here, it's not gonna wear really well. And so I was gonna bring that up, but I didn't even have to. Like, they just did it. So that was really cool that they're on top of it. Like, they know what to do. So I'm feeling better about this project. The glass is ordered and it'll be here in like a week. So maybe by the time I get back, that'll be done, or it'll start being done next week. Okay, they also added it right here, I see. So that's probably just better for the health of the whole house, I would imagine. All right, let's check out the backyard. It's pretty crazy. That is so cool. Digging another trench here. Actually, there's gonna be a drain right here. So it's cool because there will be a couple drains. So when there's hard rainfall, it goes into here rather than flooding into the house. And you guys can see on the pool, all that coping is gone. Oh, and the house is getting repaired. One thing that I've totally forgotten about that I should not take for granted is how incredible it is that these teams are so available to work on stuff for us. When we first got this house and when we first met with some contractors, they were like, yeah, I could start this project in maybe a month or 2 months. They were really busy, but it's like we found the teams at the perfect time and they're just ready for things whenever we're ready to do them. And so even though I feel a little stressed, like, oh, it's happening so quickly, it's a good problem to have. It's better than having to then be like, oh, actually, you know, we're really busy, we can't do this for a month. If anything, I should be so thankful that they can do it all so quickly. So I'm excited about that. Let's talk about the flooring for a second here. I don't know how we're gonna repair this little issue, but we're just gonna keep this flooring for a while, I think is the right thing to do here. I'm not obsessed with the flooring. Honestly, like, it could be worse. There's some flooring that I really don't like, and this is just like a nice white mat. Sure, it shows dirt, but literally every person I met in the desert, every single person goes, oh, but my floors show so much dirt. So it's like, I think everyone just has that problem. And it would be expensive and time consuming to do the whole flooring project. And I'm so glad, you know what? I'm so glad that I asked you guys what you think of the polished concrete, because I won't lie to you. Sometimes I ask for your guys' input and your guys' advice, and when you disagree with me, I get a little offended, and I'm like, what? How could they think that? But in this case, I felt that way at first because I've been in one of these houses that had the polished concrete, and I saw it in person and honestly looked really good. But I also think I agree with you. I wasn't totally sold on the polished concrete when I went to see it the other week, and you guys weren't either. I think you make a good point. I think that a nice tile, a different tile with like that terrazzo look or something like that is going to be a better suited option for this house, but we're just not going to do it yet. We're gonna wait, we're gonna live with this, and I feel okay about that. We don't quite honestly have any more money to be spending. We're finishing the backyard, we're finishing the kitchen, and then we're out of money, guys. We're out. So that's why we're not doing anything else. Let's talk about the kitchen for a second. So I want to work on the kitchen design a little more again today. Again, another thing, I'm so thankful for you guys. So I came up with the kitchen design in that IKEA planner. So we're keeping things pretty simple. It just took me a while because this over here, this length was super awkward. This is gonna be like a 24-inch cabinet, and this is gonna be an 18-inch cabinet. And then I put it on Instagram, and one of you guys, so what I had planned was there was gonna be the fridge here, a bigger cabinet here, oven over here, and then a smaller cabinet. My dad, he was like, you know, it makes more sense to have the bigger cabinet with a little counter space right next to the fridge. It's easier when you're prepping food. And I was like, that's a good point. Let's try that out. But then if we have the bigger cabinet, like 24-inch over here, it pushes the oven farther into the corner. You could still open the oven, but it would almost hit the cabinet right here. So that's just not great. There needs to be a cabinet here that goes to like here. Where's the tape measure? If we do a 30-inch cabinet right here, that puts the oven in an okay place. And then from there, the oven is another 30 inches. And then the fridge is gonna be 30 inches. And this whole wall thing is 104 inches. So we're at 30, 60, 90. Basically, there would be space for a small 14-inch cabinet thing right here. And they actually, I think, have 14-inch wide options, which would finally make the layout perfect. This is not a full-time residence, right? Something that I noticed with a lot of these houses, and even the ones that are being resold, is the kitchens, the functionality, yeah, it's not perfect. And I think it's because everyone that has these houses, pretty much, not everyone, some people live in them full-time, and the people that live in them full-time, yeah, I think they modify it in a way that functionally makes a lot more sense, and they put more money into it. But people that live in them part-time or as a vacation rental, you know, they're not going through and spending the extra money to like replumb things. And we're not gonna do that either. It doesn't make sense for us to spend that much money doing that kind of thing. Because, you know, like when I started researching more kitchen stuff, I was like, man, that would be so cool if the oven were like the kind that's like built in, you know, built into the cabinets. And it would be so cool if the kitchen island either had the burner here or the sink here. Like that would be so cool, but that requires running either a gas line, ripping into the floors. Like that's just something we're not willing to do on this project. So it's been hard to design the kitchen in a way that I'm trying to make the functionality maybe a little bit better. There's really almost no wiggle room for that, but also not move around appliances because we don't have the budget to be like doing crazy stuff in here. So it's been interesting. It's funny. It's making me think of like, how would I renovate my Seattle house if I wanted to do that? It's really opening my eyes. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do that, guys, don't worry. I think it would be fun to make that kitchen really cool, but I'm not gonna do that. If I did anything to the Seattle house, now we're really going on a tangent here, I would put engineered hardwood in the middle floor and the top floor because it's a cheaper kind of laminate vinyl flooring. In the middle floor right now, it looks fine, but I think engineered hardwood would really elevate it and make it feel like a whole new place, and I would love that. And then upstairs, it's the bamboo, if you guys remember, and I've never loved that, and I think that would give it a whole different vibe and like color palette tone situation as well. So I mean, that's honestly something I would consider doing down the line. Obviously not anytime soon at all, but if I were to do one thing with that house, it would be that, and it would be getting a structural engineer to add support beams, put a hot tub on the roof. Suddenly now that doesn't seem that hard. I'm like, yeah, just hire someone and get it done.
Okay, if you do the hot tub, then I'm moving in.
I would love if you would move in.
I'm moving into the hot tub.
Yes. So I vlogged for a bit. I'll be honest, usually I don't like intend on like, I need to vlog today, right now, to get content. But because I'm literally gonna spend the rest of my day just editing and it's gonna be really boring, I intended on vlogging for a moment for you guys. Pendant light is in. I absolutely love this light so much. It's the George Nelson Bubbles pendant light. You can get it at Design Within Reach. It's like the only thing I can afford from Design Within Reach. Yeah, there's something about it. It's such a cool light. You'll see it in a lot of mid-century houses, but what I love about it is here. Okay, so like I just darkened the exposure so you can't see me, but you can see that when you look at this light, you can look directly at it, and it's like this paper lantern kind of feeling to it. It gives a very soft light. It's really beautiful. I love it so much, but I am disappointed with the wiring for it. It's got to be changed for sure. I can live with it for now, but it honestly bugs the shit out of me. It's normally supposed to be hardwired. Hardwired is just like goes into the wall and the wiring is in the wall, whatever, you don't see it. But because our house, like right above it in the kitchen, there's no attic. It just goes straight to the roof. Our contractor that we're working with for this was like, there's no attic, it can't be hardwired. But I know for a fact, my real estate agent has his, maybe it's not quite called hardwired, but he has his that go straight up, and then on top of the roof there's like an electrical box or something so that it looks very discreet and nice. This contractor we're working with on this definitely just, I think, hadn't done that before, but I'll show you what he did, and I don't like it, and I definitely don't want to keep it for the long term, but for now it's like we paid for him to do this, so I guess it is what it is for now. So you can see, first of all, that hook for literally your living room, not great. Don't get me wrong, if you just had a casual bedroom and you put a hook like that and you hung like a plant or something, cute, no big deal. But for, you know, your formal dining area with this nice light and everything, it's weird and I'm not very happy about it. Also, what happened was they put an extension cord and just ran it to an electrical outlet that they made, which is like, it's kind of cool and creative, and it's what what our sellers did too for their pendant light, but it looks bad. When you see this, it looks very DIY, and I don't like it. I don't like it as someone that really likes design, and maybe it's the one area in my life where I would like to be more of a perfectionist. I do not like that at all. In fact, I hate it, especially now that I look at it through this camera lens, especially, I really hate it. So what he did was he cut the cord, and you can see right there, it's very visible, and then he added some electrical tape, it looks like, and now it's an extension cord. So you can see this electrical tape that's visible does not look good. You can also see that this extension cord, it has like letters on it that like go throughout. Yeah, I don't like it. In this case, it was just kind of awkward because he was here, he was doing the work. I brought up to him like, oh, well, that's not really how we want it to look. You know, we've heard that, you know, you could do an electrical box on the roof kind of thing. And he just kind of looks at me like, what are you talking about? And he's done some good work for us, some important work. It's great, like replacing the main sewer line, and he did the laundry stuff and some really good stuff. But when it comes to the aesthetic stuff, like the little perfect aesthetic stuff, I feel like he just doesn't get how important that is to me and how important that is to a lot of people. But when it comes to the really important big fixes, like they did the electrical, and they did a really good job at, you know, doing that and getting us the new panel, the sewer line, the laundry room, plumbing, stuff like that. They did a really good job with that, and I'm really happy with that work. But this is something that I don't like. One of my friends that lives in or has a house in Palm Springs jokingly was like, oh, I'll watch Oliver. And then I was like, wait, actually, that could work out really well. It is the end of an exciting day for the house. They did a lot of work prepping for the concrete tomorrow. So they're gonna lay concrete right here, and I think around the pool. On the topic I was discussing earlier of how crazy it is that like habits become so normal and not that big of an issue. When we first moved into this house, I thought it was so annoying that the fridge didn't have a filtered water line, and we had to use a Brita, and you have to fill the Brita up, and it's just annoying, and I wasn't used to it. Now I've quickly become very in the habit of just like filling up the Brita before the oven. It also is like out of its spot right now, and that's why I just aggressively hit it. Anyways, I've gotten just really easily in the habit of filling the Brita up, and it feels like no big deal. It's not annoying. Like in the beginning, it felt like the end of the world to me. I was like, this is so annoying. I can't live with this. I want a fridge that has a water line. But now I don't really care. In fact, we are gonna get a new fridge, but it's not to have the water line. The new fridge is gonna have an ice maker, which I do think is important, especially for renters in Palm Springs. People are gonna come here, they're gonna expect that they're gonna wanna make cocktails and all these things, and they're gonna open the freezer, and if there's no ice and they have to go to the store to buy ice, don't get me wrong, it's not the end of the world, but it will annoy people for sure. Or if there's like trays, like it's not ideal, but that's not even the defining factor as to why. That's a nice added bonus, but the reason why is actually because, so this is 104 inches in length. We need a 30-inch fridge. This is 30 inches right now, but it's actually 30 inches also in depth. The stove is 24 inches in counter depth. The counters are obviously 24 inches in counter depth. It was just the fridge was like 30 inches. It was sticking out like 6 inches, something like that. Something that it looks bad. It looks really bad. And functionality wise, when you're like walking through and stuff, kind of an issue. So this fridge, it works well. We're gonna resell it and everything. Like it's a good fridge. I feel bad getting rid of it when it's a perfectly fine fridge in that way, functionality wise and stuff. For redesigning a kitchen, it's really not great. Like having that stick out. When you're putting all of money into making it look good and feel good and work good, and the fridge still just sticks out like that, it makes you like, okay, let's just go the extra mile, spend the extra bit and make this nicer.